Powerfully moved I am by what Jo said. She said what I've been trying to say for years and years and years. You are sitting here looking at us blankly, and you are not hearing. You do not understand the Local Government Act, which calls for open, transparent and accountable governance. To deliver on that, you have to take the uncomfortable step of actually sitting in this room with your eyes and your ears open and listening. And once you've listened, you've got to learn to process. The community has been screaming. We've been screaming ever since Occupy Garnet Road, where we said, why will you spend millions of dollars on a cycleway that is an ideological concept unnecessary to our community because of our broad, wide streets? And then the other day, I turn up outside an apartment I own to find Auckland Transport spraying illegal coloured dots, shapes on the road. Illegal because when I wrote to NZTA and said, where on the road code is there an application for this? What does it mean if I'm a new driver? Do I instantly stop? Do I turn to the right or the left? And they went, take it up with Auckland Transport. We don't know what it means. So here you are, the local board, and you are meant to have some kind of informational control over Auckland Transport. And here they are in my community again, treating us like shit. Narrowing a broad road with some fantasy of a temporary lump in the middle of the road with a bunch of hit sticks, all doing the one thing we don't want, causing congestion and creating more emissions. How do you create more emissions? Well, you just have the traffic jamming up all the way to Grey Lynn. I want you people to come and visit this site and tell me if this is really about safety. Because the spin I'm being painted with is, oh, you little child hater you. Well, what a load of shit. We all agree in the need for safety in our streets, but you know where it starts? In education. When you take your babies out, you train them to stop, look, then cross. You don't go, hey, there's a whole lot of coloured stuff here, it's like a playground, do whatever you want. Because the truth is, we still live in a world with cars. And we're going to be living in a world with cars for the next, 80 years. And you might fantasize that taking away car parks is going to stop it. But it doesn't. Because you don't have a city that's functioning. Hello, are you here? You have a city that is actually dysfunctional. And Auckland Transport and everyone else is adding to it. You are the first port of call by this community of diverse voices. Now, before I finish, I'm simply going to say, not only should you read the Local Government Act cover to cover and learn it, but you need to focus on the Public Records Trust, Public Records Act, that Penny Bright spent most of her life before she died trying to communicate to you, which it is incumbent upon you. And this is why I speak against Richard Northey's motion, because you need to have open, transparent, accountable governance based on public information that is publicly available, and that is the law. Any fiddly-diddling with it and standing orders is nothing but nonsense. And if Richard begins down this path, woe betide. It will bring the clattering of this council down along with the government. Because when you take away the public's fundamental right to be heard, you no longer have a democracy, you have an autocracy. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Question. With pleasure.
Available for questions?
Yes, I'm certainly available.
You're always available. Lisa, thank you for that. I hear you loud and clear, and actually I agree with you. All I really wanted to know is you were called a nutcase recently by a local board member on social media. Have you had an apology?
No, and
It's not relevant.
no, it is relevant, because more than that, I've had a member of this board attack me, and when my lawyer approached the CEO and Phil Wilson, they were unable to provide any evidence of the allegation, and I am still waiting for an apology from the member. You know, it is no surprise to me that people feel threatened by the truth. When people call me a nutcase, what they're really saying is, you don't agree with our philosophy, You're not going to fall into line. You're a threat, and we're afraid of you. Now, I have worn that as a badge of honour for the last 25 years, because before you all turned up, there was Richard and I, as he would carry a load of papers into the meeting to prove how busy he'd been. The truth is, this is his last rodeo. Well, it ain't mine. And so whatever people want to call me is fine by me. I make great pizzas. I have a great little restaurant. I provide a huge self-service where people can use the tiny theatre for whatever they need it to be, to meet publicly or put on a show or just have a wake or a wedding. In my heart, I don't carry any burden, any of this weight of nastiness and cruelty that I see exhibited by the misogynist and arrogant behaviour that this council, and at all levels, look, I won't even go to a meeting with Phil Goff because he takes the cake in terms of patriarchal, patronising, misogynist bullies.
Yeah, well, it's not an elaboration, so I'll move that the Waitemata Local Board thank Lisa Prager for her presentation